Welcome back to another TC Disc Golf video. Today, our first versus video, Wild Disc versus Yikun. Before we get into our video for today, there's a few things you should know. First thing is, I'm a beginner. And I know I say this a lot, but really, I'm still learning how to throw discs. They're different ways. And so, some of the video, you'll see me mess up some throws. I didn't intentionally try to make one score better or worse. It's just how the round played out. Second is, I actually played in 20-mile-an-hour wind on a very cold day. And a lot of that was because I had to make the decision with the time I have available to me. Do I film this anyways, even though the weather is bad, or do I fall behind? And I have a limited amount of time, so I made the decision to film anyways, since I'm not trying to highlight any one disc. The last thing you should know is that I'm sponsored by Wild. So even though I do take in this video and I'm throwing Wild versus Yikun, I did do my best to try to throw both discs equally well. I'm someone who's very competitive, so I really hate having a bad throw. That being said, I put Wild's 3 new discs, which are meant to be their startup with their new manufacturer partnership with Yikun, versus Yikun's starter set. So you have the Wild Disc Great White, which is a 13.5 -1.3, a wide rim driver. Their mid utility, which is the Angler 4303, and their putter, which is a 2302, versus the Yikun starter set molds, which is the Hue, which is a 9.5 -2.2, the Kwai, which is a 5.5 2.5, and the Yi, which is their putter at 2302. Now, other than the putters, the two discs are quite different from each other. The Angler is very stabler, and the Kwai is, well, you'll see in one of the shots, is not quite as stable, but has a lot more glide to it and gets a little bit more distance. And the Great White and He are technically different categories of disc, with one being a distance driver and one being a fairway control driver. But I pitted them against each other anyways, because until Wild Disc is able to continue to grow and offer more molds, it just seemed to make sense that the 3 new discs from Wild versus the 3 discs that Yikun would offer to a new player. And then the putters, they're actually very similar except a handful of ways. One is that the Sea Otter is a much deeper mold. Even though the feel is similar, it's definitely deeper. And because of this, I feel like it gets more glide and is a little bit more neutral. Whereas the Yi is a good, little bit more shallow disc that doesn't have as much glide and is slightly more stable than the Otter. And maybe even the more noticeable or biggest thing about it is the Gi has texture underneath on the flight plate. So let's see how I was able to do with these 2 sets of discs.